Kia ora everybody. My name is Leon and I have been leading what we're calling the Winter Energy Study at Kāinga Ora for the last 3 years. So yeah, the stats on here probably won't be new to a lot of people in the room. There are so many people in Aotearoa that live in energy hardship, and especially Māori and Pacific people, especially renters and especially low-income households. And that is a group, well, those are characteristics that a lot of the people that live in Kāinga Ora homes do fall into. And so for us to run a good energy hardship study, yeah, we have a really, really good, I guess, group of people that we can get to help us out with that. So the Winter Energy Study is it's a proof of concept trial that we've undertaken in collaboration with Mercury as well as their subsidiary Globug. So Mercury, the energy retailer, and Globug is just a prepaid energy retailer that you pay for on the day or 1 day in advance if you need to. And so what we're trying to find out is how good having capped electricity, so basically all you want for one price, is to get people to heat their homes to healthy temperatures during the winter. So we had quite a few questions that we were trying to answer here. So what's the most effective design of the cap? So we tried a few different ways to make that cap work. Does having a cap actually result in more energy consumption and better indoor temperatures? Do we get better health and well-being outcomes from having the cap? Who's getting financial costs and who's getting financial savings? Does it impact the maintenance for the homes that we have? How much does it cost for us to run this study as well? And also, what does it take for someone like Mercury to actually deliver a capped energy product as well? So we're collecting quite a lot of data. So since I think the beginning of 2022 until now, we're continuing to collect electricity data till the end of October next year. So we've got half an hour Mercury data for all the participants and daily electricity data for all the Globug participants. We've got a sub-sample of internal environment monitoring people. So they've got temperature, humidity, and CO2 sensors. Tom Kane was not able to speak yesterday, but he is in charge of that. And we also have been running, we've been running surveys before and after our capped winter periods. And we've got about an 80% response rate for our first baseline survey, and then about a 65% response rate for our post-cap. So yeah, it's a pretty good response. Each survey's got about 40 questions, takes a while to do, and actually we've included a lot of questions that come out of things like Warmer Kiwi Homes, HEAP 2, and the general social survey, so we can actually make comparisons back to the general population. We've also conducted over 100 interviews with participants in the pilot, and we have contextual information about our homes as well: housing type, build year, number of bedrooms, number of people in the home, etc. And then after all this is done, we're going to throw all the information into the IDI so we can link it back to broader information about health, school attendance, advanced benefit payments, special needs grants, etc. So it's heaps going on, so much data, it can be quite overwhelming sometimes. So just quickly about the cap, we've had the cap going for 2 years, last winter and this winter just been. Every cap is individualized to the individual household based off their 2022 electricity use. And so we have a low cap, a high cap, and a medium cap. I'm not quite sure I would put them in that order. So we have got the average of 12 months spend, the average of like the high winter there, June to August, and the average of May to October, so the kind of longer winter period. Also, the cap goes from May to October, which is meant to coincide with the winter energy payment as well. And as you can see on the side, we've got about 716 participants in the study with a pretty good representation of ethnicity as well. I forgot to mention that we have a split between Auckland and Christchurch to make sure we're getting the right, we're getting information about different geographic environments in terms of weather and coldness and that kind of thing. So we have been monitoring as well for excessive use amongst our people, and there has been none, which has been really, really good. So people have come on board with, a really good desire to make this work for them and for us, hopefully. So this is just an example of how the medium cap works for Mercury. So you've got the red line. You pay up, you pay the red line if you go over it. If you go under it, you just pay whatever you used. And then Glowbug is just the same kind of thing, but on a daily basis. Yeah. So I'm just going to run through a few findings from last winter, still going through our findings from the winter we've just had. So what you can see here is the Mercury customers, and this is the percentage uplift in kilowatt hour usage on average for the people who are involved. So we do have a control, that's that dotted line there, that's made up of about 300 Kāinga Ora probably homes that Mercury figured out. They won't tell us who they are, but that's probably a good thing for our ethical practice. But yeah, so we can see people came in like pretty hard from the start. We've got, what's that, a 13% increase in our cap one, and then going up to a 19% increase in August. And you can see it's going way, way, way above the control there. So, people are actually increasing their electricity use. And then if we look at Glowbug, it's even better. So for it's quite different. We've got different caps being using more in the Glowbug. So our cap 2 is a 29% increase on average in the amount of electricity used in August, which is just like a really fantastic result. One of the reasons that we do think that we've got such a big uptake on here is because Glowbug has an app where you can see your daily use, and they're able to put that little cap line on there so everyone can check every day if they're meeting their cap or not, which makes a huge difference rather than just having to kind of wait till your bill comes in at the end of the month. And you really don't know how much electricity you've used until that point, apart from a few weekly emails that Mercury send out, and sometimes send out things that say, woohoo, you used less electricity than last week, good job. So had to shut that one down. We also had like an unexpected effect from the cap on the debt that our customers owed to us. So on the right-hand side with the like paler bars, you can see the green. That's all customers, like all Kāinga Ora customers in Auckland and Christchurch. And during that cap period, they actually increased the debt that they owed to us by 4.2. But people who were in the cap in those same areas decreased theirs by 6.5%. So we're actually seeing, people being able to get on top of other debts that they have in their life as well. And that came through quite a lot in the interviews that we were doing with customers as well, being able to keep on top of their phone, their internet, their kids' school uniforms, other clothes, gas, so many different things. So yeah, it's quite an interesting sub-finding there that we were surprised to see. So of course, one of the things that's really interesting for us to look at is health, because that's, energy hardship and health go hand in hand. So what we did is we asked people about whether or not they'd visited the doctor for a range of kind of health, housing and health related, or housing related health issues for the winter before the cap, and then the during the cap, well, for the year to date for those. So we did this 12 months apart. And I mean, as you can see here, there's statistically significant drops in people visiting the hospital or the doctor for all of these things. So I don't know if you can read them, but it's allergies, asthma, bronchitis, common cold and flu, rheumatic fever, and strep throat. Skin infections was not significant. It wasn't really a big drop there, but yeah, on the right, you can see that huge green bar that shows people who didn't have to visit the hospital or doctor either. So very happy about that one. And just in case you were wondering, it wasn't because of the cost. People actually felt that they didn't have to not visit the doctor because of cost as well. So it's a big win for us here, getting people healthier during the winter. And then we looked at whether or not people had stress or anxiety about their electricity bill. And we have 55% of participants reducing their stress and anxiety over their electricity bill during the capped period. So we were very happy with that as well. And yeah, did you ever feel like you struggled to heat your home because of costs during the winter? So again, we have a massive shift out of that kind of always and most of the time towards that never bar on the right there. And with the sum of the time staying about the same. So, but it looks really good. And did you ever put up with feeling cold to keep your energy costs down? We've again got a huge increase in the percentage of people who changed from saying yes a lot or yes sometimes into that no category. And just to finish up, just some early feedback from the interviews, such as, you've made my life a lot lovelier and warmer this year. I even say to myself, this is the first winter you've been warm all winter. And the study has made a huge difference to our mental health, not worrying about electricity, feeling warm, and not worrying that the kids, we haven't been sick. I haven't been so sick. That's got to be a huge bonus, isn't it? Yeah, so thank you so much.
Thank you, Leon. Fantastic work. Do we have any questions in the room? Michael?
So just one question online from C. Rotterman. Are those survey questions going to be publicly available? Would be good to keep building on the same survey questions. I'm not exactly sure which survey questions she was referring to because it was kind of earlier on in your presentation. So,
yeah. So I mean, with the report. Hello.
Sorry, I just said all of them. It's just one of those things, you know, when we're all creating our own survey questions, they can influence the answers. And it would be, you said you're building on ones that came out of Warmer Kiwi Homes, etc. So it'd be good to, you know, keep sharing so we can basically all who are doing surveys with different customers in hardship build on those same kind of questions and get a bigger sample.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a really good idea. It may not be up to me personally to choose whether we could do that or not, but I would be advocating for it, of course. And definitely the reporting coming out of the end of this will be public and probably available on the Kāinga Ora website. So potentially even the appendices will have all the survey answers in there as well. So yeah, I would love to do that.
Thank you. We have time for one more question.
Hey, Leon. Thanks for sharing your findings. I was really interested to see that there was still quite a good chunk of people saying that they sometimes felt cold or like went cold to save on power, and that coupled with the fact that there was no one with excessive use. So I don't know, have you looked into why people are answering that, and if that's a room for going in and providing more education, like what's the gap there? Because if they're not maximizing their power, they're still feeling cold. And
I mean, we can get a lot of that context from the interviews that we did. And there were plenty of people who kind of took the approach of, I didn't want to go overboard. I didn't want to feel like I was taking advantage of it. You know, somebody has to pay for this, and I feel bad about, you know, someone else paying. So a lot of people were, especially the Glowbug people who were able to see their daily use, were really kind of just trying to like ride that cap line and not really like, you know, blow out their power use too much. It was on principle for a lot of people. I think there were a smaller group who didn't didn't quite understand what was going on, and potentially there is an education piece there that needs to be done. We spent a lot of time working on our comms, working with Mercury's comms team, and yeah, there's definitely kind of a piece in there that we need to be doing around thinking about how our comms was put together, and yeah, that's kind of it. Like people just were not. Lots of people weren't that keen just to go as hard as they could.